Not as big of a crowd now.
Trying. Like putting up posters in Randolph.
Not much you can do if people want to talk. Were you there at that game last weekend?
It was good. Pretty solid. They're pretty fast. They're faster than us.
Yeah, there's a lot of good guys. And a lot of when we last played at home, what was that, a month and a half ago now? The 5-game road trip and 1+ away from home has come to an end. The Norfolk Mallards back here inside Zapostis Arena as they battle a division rival in the North Shore Nighthawks for the first time on their home sheet ice this season. My name's Colby Smith. The Mallards and Nighthawks playing for the second straight Saturday. And as I said, this is the first time on the Mallards home turf, but last weekend, the Mallards up at North Shore taking a 6-4 win. Cinco Grana and Halloran both had a pair of goals for Norfolk. Brad McGovern and Albert Smith both found the back of the twine as well, as this Mallards team finally starting to find their groove after a bit of a slow start to the season. They come in 3-4-1-1, looking to get back to an even keel 500. They're in their home white tops, and they'll skate right to left across your YouTube screen here in this first period. North Shore going to be in the visiting blues with the yellow shoulders, yellow lettering, and yellow numbers on the bat. Face-off going to come to center, quickly tipped to the right side winger. North Shore pinned back in their own zone, and we are underway here in the first period from Zapostis Arena. Pinned up along the right side boards. Woodward has it poked aside. Low side of the circle, tossed around Jared Morris. Far side out to the blue line, drifting up, trying to clear it in. Adam Tomey touches up on this one, is now touched up. David Pila rolling through the neutral zone. Brad McGovern now going to spin it back to his defense with 30 seconds already gone. Force fed up the middle, trying to play to the wall as Jack Fitz left it back, pumped in off the pads of the starting goaltender and Keegan McLaughlin. It's his third start of the year for North Shore, and on the other end, Norfolk turning back to a very familiar face in Parker Butler. Gets his 6th start, 350 goals against. He's got a .912 save percentage as the Mallards already making their first change. Behind the net, side to side, going to toss it up the far side boards. Now left up through the middle over center. Can't shriek in as Kyle Weeks running the left side wing on the second line for North Shores. They're playing short-handed here tonight. Have enough guys to make the trip down from Essex as this one up through the circle. Skips are neutralized all the way down, and it's going to be an icing with 18:46 to go here in the first. So the Nighthawks get their first offensive zone face-off. And again, it's Parker Butler down there in net for Norfolk with a black helmet and multicolored pads. Face-off will be to his right as it's Patrick Martin to take it against Tommy Bello, who's yet to find the back of the net here for Norfolk this season. 7 points. All of them assists. In front of the blue line, shot around the net, picked up in the near side corner by Gurnall. Looked out of there by Matt Girton as he takes a hit. Left in the corner, now stretched out of the zone as here they come. It's Josh Hogue over center. Left wing side up the middle, toe drag play, and he missed the net as he clipped it off the pad, rolls up the wall. Fed right back through the middle as this one's scooped by Patrick Martin. And off the stick of Kyle Wheat. Standing at center, tossed forward by Girton, up through the air. A couple of skips. Girton with a big stick. Can't hold on. North Shore going to hit the reset button as the Mallards going to change things up yet again. Off the glass it comes. Trying to catch him sleeping was Wheat. Girton receives, though. Going to come ahead. It's cranked off his stick. Tossed by Wheat. Now angled up. Up here into the zone. In the high slot, weaves off to the right wing, drubs it in behind the net. Picked up in the far corner. Now left right to the slot area. There was nobody there. Off the boards in the corner. Out to the point. Duquette drifting, waiting, shooting. Tipped off a defender. Comes left side as Butler watching. Norfolk in their own zone here for much of these first 2.5 minutes as Messam leaves it out over center all the way down. Should be another icing. And they wave it off. Gage Duquette up the far side wall to the right of the Nighthawks bench. Again, they're in the blue and yellows. Norfolk in the home whites with the blue and green. His icing again gets waved off as it got tipped on the way by. Brian Austin in the corner playing to his D partner on the near side. Kevin Messam side to side behind the net. Messam just with 1 goal on the season so far. Again, he's a player. Norfolk's looking to try to get going here as we're getting into the middle part of the schedule. Down right side of the net, chasing in goes Tommy Bello. Bello already in his second shift. Just North Shore behind the net. Bello, big wind, and he missed. He threw it right past the right post with a big whistle on the shot. Up, it's Patrick Martin. The lone green helmet on the ice, and Brendan O'Reilly back to the circle. And pick his pocket from behind. Finally, the puck going to come free with 16:35 remaining here in the first. Quick snapshot from the corner, couldn't get it through. Butler watching on behind his net as the first guy to the puck is Jack Fitz, wearing number 5 in place of Pat Toonley, who's out of the lineup tonight here for Norfolk. Up the middles, we'll touch on scratches on the Norfolk side of things in just a moment. Adam Tomey dumps it in, comes all the way around the net, and North Shore able to get a change off as a result. Back of the circle, waiting. Fitz tossed off the pads. It's Keegan McLaughlin, a couple of early saves here for the Nighthawks. Far corner, Tommy Bello works it around. And these two teams will meet again tomorrow night here at Tapas Arena, as this is the first home back-to-back against the same opponent in Norfolk Mallards history. Off the boards, up through the middle, knifing around. Kyle Wheats. Pitchfork it to the middle. Martin in the high slot, threw it wide. Now 15:40 to go. 0-0 score between these two division rivals, both with 8 points in the standings. So the points on the line here critical this weekend. Pinned up in the corner. Adam Tomey chipped it around. David Pila now out along the wall. As Norfolk loves to play the boards here against North Shore. You saw it last weekend on the road, up through the air. McGovern floated it out of play. McGovern, 15 points on the season as he's tied with Josh Hogue for the team lead. Hogue has 7 goals, 8 assists. And McGovern, 6 goals, 9 assists. So both do it on both sides of the puck. But Toomley, Downs, McGovern, Wren, Brittner, Ells, Bowling, and Isbell all out of the lineup with McNamara, the goalie, scratches well for Norfolk. Off the glass, all for various reasons, is Messam tossed off the boards again right through the slot. Going to come off into the near side corner. Josh Hogue to the high slot. Girton had it stripped away. Out to center, side to side. Messam on the back end, gives it right away. Here comes Martin into the zone, up the left wing side, beyond the circle. Clip the stick. Tyler Harrington. As many of these Norfolk Mallards new to the lineup here over the last month plus, played a little time on the road, as this one swung past the net yet again. Into the corner is Gurnell wearing the white bucket out there on the ice. Again, many different colors in the helmets for North Shore. Trying to wear all blues, but got some black to white and even a green. Is Danny Shea pinned up to the wall with 14:30 now left. Working up through the middle to the far side, Duquette. Saucer's up, going to take a bounce, gets out over center. First man back to the puck, Kevin Messam. Is Gurnell in there. Now wrap it to the far side. Bird forced behind the net, 14:12 to go as Norfolk in their own zone. Led up, Shane Bates over center into the zone. Up the right wing wall, off his defender. Bates now going to chase on back. Out to the blue line, off his defender, gets out over center, back to the defense. Ryan Austin left off to his right. Coming on ahead is Shane Bates. Up left wing side, drop pass back. Quick snapshot, misses the net on the right side. Getting plenty there. Norfolk continuing to try to pepper Keegan McLaughlin here in the early goings of this one. All the way down for the icing. 13:39 to go, and the Mallards will get an offensive zone face-off. North Shore, led by head coach Mike O'Hearn, first year coaching semi-pro hockey. You're in the American Premier Hockey League. Albert Smith going to take this one against Robert. The lone 40 spot dressed for the Nighthawks. His numbers spread out 4-98 in terms of their skaters. 30-31 their goaltenders. Is Hunter Petrol dressed as the backup tonight to McLaughlin. Norfolk dressing 3 goalies as Bacuzzi and Callender both on the benches. This one swung wide. Chasing it down in the corner. Jake Morgan with a good stick. Going to go on the backhand, but gave it right away to North Shore. Rolling ahead over center through the circle. Drop down off the glove as Pila chases. Holds on through the ring. Left off the glass. Kicking around Brian Austin. Gave away in the circles. A lot of turnovers here for Norfolk in defensive ice. Got to straighten that out. In the corner, Kevin Lapierre working hand over hand. Those pretty white gloves. Rolls up the boards. Streaking it out the other way comes Kearney into the zone. Kearney's been good here on home ice so far this season. 7 points, and 4 of them have come here at home, as that's an icing on North Shore. Mallards team, the goal differential of -7, coming in 32 goals, 39 assists. All 3 of their wins have come when they have scored 6 goals. So the key number for this team is a 6 spot on the board. And for the North Shore Nighthawks, you got to think a similar kind of mindset is this team does not love those low-scoring games. Is when they score 5 or more, they're 4-1. When they score 4 or less, they're 0-6. So a key stat to keep in mind as we roll on through, still looking for our first goal over 7 minutes in. Bello on the near side, forced ahead. McGovern going to cut over the middle. Far side, Jet Fitz up in the high slot. Got it stripped aside. It's Lombard up the far side, racing down the right wing boards to the circle, fired on goal, and Butler going to hold on with 12:27 to go. Haven't seen much of Cam Cordillo for North Shore so far here early in this one. He's over on the bench, scored 2 goals last weekend against the Mallards. But again, just 1 shift so far here through this first period. Despite the Nighthawks being short bench. Face off coming to the right of Butler. Quickly trying to win it to the wall as the Mallards regrouping behind their own net. Gavin Ells, captain for the squad, jamming it out in front. And a nice little save by Butler yet again. Butler has been a key player for this Norfolk Mallards team. As I said before, his goals against .350 and his save percentage .912. Obviously, the goals against average a little high, but the games in this league very high scoring. Is Lombard going to once again take this face-off? He'll go against Matt Gurton, who wins it off to his left side. Seeing a little chemistry from him and Gavin Ells. Ells started the season on defense and has slid up playing some forward here for Norfolk here as of recently. Back of the circle, tossed out through neutral. Picked up as Gurton over the red line, bashed ahead. Back of the left circle, waiting, shooting, and a nice glove save by McLaughlin. Took plenty of time, but McLaughlin just sticking that glove up, going full second baseman here with 11:55 to go to again keep Norfolk to a goose egg on the board. Back down into the offensive zone, face off, going to come to the left of McLaughlin. Norfolk has to tighten things up in the face-off circle. A weakness they're looking to get better on is here again. We move through the middle part of the schedule. Team in their 10th game, North Shore in their 12th. As they come in 4-7 with 8 points. They're 11th out of the 12 teams in the league. Norfolk 10th out of 12. So of course, holding the tiebreaker, taking a game to OT, as well as getting a tie on the road at Hudson Valley. Mallards team looking to do something they haven't done yet and get a full 60-minute affair win on home ice. Is their game that they had against Hudson Valley that ultimately comes a win in the score column was started here and suspended in the third period due to ice conditions. And so looking to get a full 60-minute win here on home ice for the first time this year tonight. Rolling ahead, Hogue going to cross over the center line. Swerves up and now pulls up. Shoots towards the net, steered up off the paddle out of play. With all ones left on the board, 11:11 to go here in period 1. So another offensive zone face-off for the Mallards, who got off to a bit of a slow start. A Pepper and McLaughlin here over these last few minutes. Woodward and Buckland both scored as well last weekend for North Shore. As the face-off one back through the legs of Bates. Nice little center addition for this team as this one whacked off the wall and picked up by Martin. Cuts up left wing side, now swerves through the middle. Gave it to Danny Shea into the zone. Drop pass back, trying to force feed to the front, clips a stick through the circle. Work down in behind the cage yet again with 10:50 to go here in period 1 in this 0-0 game between North Shore and Norfolk. Up the middle, hand over hand comes Albert Smith. 4 points on the season, 2 goals, 2 assists. Now force it through to the front. Shea picks it off. Rolls right back the other way. Smith hasn't played organized hockey in quite a while. Is Weeks back of the circle. Prior to the season with Norfolk, hadn't played since he played USPHL hockey with South Shore back in the day. Up the wall, hand over hand, McGovern. Where's the captaincy on this roster? Tip pass back in. And the Mallards watching North Shore make a change. Get a little change off on defense themselves. Up the middle, Woodward. Cross to the far side. Pumped right on in. Butler watching behind him as Kevin Messam in the near side corner, forced all the way around. McGovern's got it. Stretch pass gets intercepted and neutralized. Quillen going to come right back in. Defender had a very impressive showing last weekend. +2 on the ice for North Shore is a quick one. Butler knocked out of the air. Norfolk going to get a clear. Should be an icing. It is with 9:43 to go. So we'll march it all the way right back down into the offensive zone here for the North Shore Nighthawks. North Shore, you might see it over there. Hinted at it a couple of times already. Very short lineup here tonight. Running just 3 forward lines. 2 D pairs and an extra D. Is it face-off coming to Butler's left. Norfolk with quite a few guys out of the lineup as well, but definitely have the advantage in that respect with plenty of their guys here being their home building in Randolph, Mass. In the corner, back of the circle. Hand over hand, going to come on ahead is Billow. Pushed up, McGovern receives back of the circle and couldn't get a shot off as the puck was knocked into the wall. McGovern hand over hand, trying to spin it on wide. Pops off to the far side is Quillen looking to steer it out of the zone. Picked up Lombard, racing in, far side or left up the middle and going to skip all the way to the boards away from Morris. Centering pass picked off in the slot. Drop pass to the left wing boards. Rolling up, it's Billow on the near side, back of the circle. Again, another backhand pass as the Mallards trying to get things through. Using the boards. Is up through again. Kicked off the pad and they jam it in. The Mallards going to crack the scoreboard first, as it'll be none other than the captain and Brad McGovern with 8:52 to go here in the first. That'll be McGovern's 7th goal of the season here for Norfolk, as he now takes the team lead in points here in the inaugural season. Face off back to center. As Patrick Martin gets tied up, Norfolk quickly going to break right back in. Drop settle back. Oh, snapped in the glove of McLaughlin. 8:46 to go in this first period, and now a 1-0 lead for the Mallards. They got to keep the foot on the gas pedal and play a full 60-minute effort if they want to come away victorious against this North Shore group who has a lot of speed to offer, despite, of course, being down. We'll change up around on the face-off side of things. Is Hogue will come in and take it here for Norfolk. Played right to the middle. A little good stick. Going to come up out of play is Jack Halloran. All over the place here on the ice for Norfolk. 2 goals last weekend, and he has points in 2 of the last 3. Is the draw going to come left side of McLaughlin? Matt Gerton takes his face off, wins it to us right out to the point. Tipped around as it gets away from Pila, cleared on it. Bernal was looking for a penalty. And the official's finally going to blow the whistle in the far side corner. 8:31 to go, and we will indeed see the Norfolk penalty kill for the first time tonight. It's David Pila off to the box, 2 minutes for the hook. And so the North Shore Nighthawks on the power play for the first time, looking to try to tie this game up. North Shore, their power play has been a struggle. Just a couple of conversions here over the last 5. Is a change made by Mike O'Hearn, last ditch one, as Kyle Wheat's coming off the bench. Norfolk trying to match up how they want as they bring Brian Austin over the boards. Guy who's playing just his second game here in the Mallard sweaters. Inside the zone, Woodward going to drift off, toss left side. Right on the doorstep, kicked up as Butler able to keep it out now over the top. He barely missed the crossbar. Far side centered, Woodward kicked off to his skate. Now fed to the corner, dead angle shot, missed. Through the slot, right back to the far side. Duquette tossed up top. And Cody Woodward running the point here on this power play. Goals in back-to-back games as Lombardo off the pad. Butler able to keep this one out and the net comes off. So they stop play with 1:28 to go here on this North Shore power play. hits the net behind Butler, and then we'll get back to it. The officials having a little conversation by that left post. And it'll now be Lombard here against Albert Smith for the faceoff. To the left side of Butler, Lombard going to win it behind him to the defense. Woodward tossed to the left side boards. Played down low, and now going to get out of the way. Just inside the line, Woodward going to drift up top. Fire to the left circle. And kicked off Butler's pads again down behind the net. Looks like the left side post is loose once more. So once again, going to have to fix it behind Butler. And the last home game had a similar issue with Parker Butler in between the pipes. It was way back on Sunday the 4th of February, which says anything about that 5-game road trip and how long it's been since this team was home. They went to Hudson Valley twice, Holyoke once, Boston once, and North Shore once as well. This team spread out all over here in the New England region, as well as down a bit out to the central region as they get a tip play in front and score. North Shore going to even things up here on the power play. Seamus Lombard who gets the goal, and the time will be 7:34. We're now back to an even keel game here in Norfolk County. Back to center ice comes the face-off as Patrick Martin looking off to his left, but the Mallards get some help and control the puck. Tomey, who left it off the wall, now skates into the zone 3-on-2 entry. Back of the circle, whiffing on this one, picked up. Surging quickly with speed, Martin going to race ahead. Up the middle, whipped out to center. Is Quillen going to pick up. Steered it up to Weeks, off his skate, played forward. Here's Grinnell into the zone. Big entry. Butler swats it down, covers and holds on with exactly 7 to go here in this first. Mallards going to be back here at home tomorrow night, taking on North Shore for the second straight night. These two teams, 4 matchups on the regular season schedule. As Norfolk going to have one more trip up to North Shore next Saturday to wrap up the season series. They'll play a back-to-back yet again next weekend at North Shore Saturday and then at Boston Sunday. Butler steering that one away. Out in front, picked up. Billow leaves it up the wall. Racing comes McGovern, who already has scored tonight for the Mallards. In the circle, comes loose to the boards. Centering pass, gets all the way across ice, up. We're going to swat it down. McLaughlin had a good idea there. Thrown up top, racing up, is kicking away. Grinnell going to come in one-on-one, forehand, backhand, and he can't get a look, and that going to come through 5-hole. As he gets his own rebound, left side of the net, pops it in, and it's now a 2-1 game. As I said already, this North Shore team brings plenty of speed to the table, and you see it there from Brandon Grinnell, cutting through 2 defenders, leaving the puck to himself, and stays with it all the way to get a shot from the corner. And so, North Shore now a 2-1 lead. Face-off going to come back to center. Is Roberts going to win it back to his defense. Goals just 1 minute and 4 seconds apart for the Nighthawks. Is Shea going to cut on ahead. Tossed up the left wing wall. Out over center. Fed in by Duquette. Off the pads. Back of the near side circle. Wedged through to the front. Off the twine. Chased down by Halleran. Stretched up ahead. Is Josh Ho going to roll over the line. Back of the left circle. Again tips off a stick. Rolling on up the other way. Here comes Danny Shea. Cross to the near side. Brad Perry in. Back of the left wing circle. Whiffed on the one-time look. Tried to go back to the backhand. Couldn't. Loose out in front. Butler gets his stick on it. Rolls off the top side of the wall. And now Norfolk trying to even things up here. It's Ho. A little drop pass back. North Shore gets a touch. Feeds it down. And they're able to get a change off on the defensive side of the puck with 5:34 to go here in period 1. Out of the zone. Led into neutral ice. Hand over hand, back in the high slot. Winding, going to go up out of play. It was Jack Halloran. Halloran's had a couple of good looks on net here in this first period. Yet to get anything to go is the Norfolk lone goal coming from Brad McGovern. Time was 8:52 for North Shore. Has now added 2 straight. Face-off going to come to the right of McLaughlin. Zipping around, going to chink the pads behind the net and overhand. Jared Martin, near side, stretched on over. And O'Reilly up far side through the circle, thrown off the pads yet again. Behind the net, Austin wrapped back up top and couldn't be settled down by O'Reilly. Just inside the zone off the glass, but now 5 minutes to go here in period 1. Morris down low with the puck. Was going to Lombard. Guy who had pro aspirations some time ago. Is this one going to come off the wall? Up the middle, turning. Martin spun off the pads. Austin with a good stick in the corner. Got away from Shane Bates as Norfolk going to work it up. Through the circle, Bates swerves on ahead. Over the center line, dumped down, clips the twig. Waffle boarded up, diving at this one yet again and going to come loose. McLaughlin loves to steer these pucks up high. Through some lanes, back into the zone, 4:20 to go. In the corner, Austin got a one-touch. Now Pila on the one-hander. Gonna get it out, and it couldn't be settled down by Kearney, who was trying to do it in stride. Dumped up, over Butler it went. In the corner, it's Pilo's got it. Fed ahead, now up the middle. Good little poke check with the stick. O'Reilly turns and shoots it around. Comes up near side. Chasing it down goes Kyle Wheats. To hit into the glass with 3:48 to go. Norfolk now going to get it clear as it takes a couple of bounces. Going to be a bit shy of the icing until the Mallards able to get a change off. Kearney, the lone man up on the forward check, and now he's trying to get off the ice. As he'll finally complete the full 5 change as this one shot up out of play. At 3:30 to go. So this Mallards team after this weekend only going to have 4 home games remaining. And after tomorrow, next opportunity to see them going to be Saturday the 13th against the Boston Gold Kings at 7 p.m. Is over those last couple of weekends in April. Going to have a Saturday game, going to have a back-to-back set last weekend of the regular season with a Sunday game sandwiched in between there. So 3 straight weekends with Mallards hockey here on home ice for at least a single game. Messon pinned in his own zone, going to feed it over. Tommy Bello tosses it up. Jack Fitz rolls into the zone. McGovern forced off the pads. Rebound looking, it couldn't be jammed. That's the goaltender by Fitz. Right on down the other way. For now, off the glass, settled on the twig of Kyle Wheats. Right down, little give and go pass play. Wheats is McGovern trying to swoop in. 17 better than 18 as he pulls that one back to his defense with 2:44 to go. As it shot all the way down the ice for the icing. So the Mallards certainly been on their heels here late in the first period after getting the first goal on the board. Face-off going to be back in their defensive zone with 2:40 to go. It's North Shore making some changes. Draw will be Jack Fitz. Taking it against Brendan O'Reilly. Going 2-1, Fitz pinned along the corner boards. Wrapped around, Tommy Billow dodges a hit. Now Woodward going to toss it in. Chased down by Messam in the far corner. Left up top, Lombard. It's now picked up, Tommy Billow. Stretched right back the other way. McGovern receiving in stride. Pulls up, looking to the front, tried the deflection play and couldn't jam it through. Had a beauty of a help there from Tommy Billow as he was trying to set him up for the first goal, as those two have been a pair to watch here in this first period for the Mallards. Elves help in the corner. Comes right back the other way as it's Hogue. Going to race over center. Up the middle. Off the boards it comes. Well, Berg into the zone down the left wing circle. Going dipsy doodle around his defenders. It's poked up. Hogue get again to the far side. Into the zone, back of the left circle off the leg. Takes a hop. Behind the net with 1:35 to go. Up top through the circle. Big wound off the pad. McLaughlin standing tall still. 2-on-1 zone entry, and it skipped over the stick of Kevin Lapierre. Looking ahead on the left side. Tidal on the boards. O'Reilly drifting in a high slot, kicks off the blocker. Parker Butler with 1:14 to go, and with North Shore finally getting a touch on the puck, we get the delayed penalty call. Ed McLaughlin go all the way to the bench. Just a split second after he finally got there. Penalty call being assessed. It's 2 minutes for the cross check on Girton, and so Norfolk going to go right back to the penalty kill. 0 for 1 on the kill to start as Lombard scored on the power play on their first go-around. Face off to the left of Parker Butler. Quickly the Mallards going to get it out the other way over the center line. Duquette back in his own zone. Going to go hand over hand in front of the wall. Woodward on the near side, swerving. It's a half figure eight type move. Over the line. Lombard now through the hash marks in the corner with under a minute to go here in period number 1. Up top, Woodward. Left in the circle to the corner. Short deking around, trying to find spaces. O'Reilly. Back on off, drop pass back to Duquette. Wound down to the corner with 35 to go. Back on this near side yet again. Woodward drifting left in the high slot. Turned right back the other way. With a great stick by Tyler Harrington. And the Mallards now able to change things up for what should be the final time here in this first period. Trailing 2-1 are the Norfolk Mallards. North Shore looking to tack on an insurance goal. But now back to the circle. Maneuvers on in up top. Good stick. And this one thrown wide. It's a great angle shot from Gabe Duquette. Can't angle it in. And behind the goal, picked up Woodward. Is the clock time going to wind down? And we are going to head to first intermission here in Norfolk County with a 2-1 score in favor of the North Shore Nighthawks. Brad McGovern gets on the board first with his 7th goal of the season for Norfolk, but then the Nighthawks strike right back just over a minute later. Lombard first, and then 1:04 later, Brandon Grinnell. It's the middle part of the period, the most entertaining part of the period, and North Shore are going to take the 2-1 lead to the dressing room. We'll be back with period 2 in just about 15 minutes. Stay right here with us on YouTube. 2-1, North Shore has the lead. Welcome back inside Zabastis Arena here in Randolph, Massachusetts, as we get set for period 2, the period of the long change between North Shore and Norfolk. The Mallards 2-1 after 20 minutes of play, looking for an answer as the lone goal so far has come from their captain in Brad McGovern. They'll skate from left to right here in the second period. North Shore going to go from right to left as we'll get the face-off at center. Quickly tipped back by Jake Morgan as we are underway here in period 2. O'Reilly going to come right on in up the wall. Fed right through, skipped in the high slot, took a bounce all the way to the wall. Drifting back goes Woodward. He'll feed Duquette on the near side. Up through as it clips the twig, going to roll all the way down into the far side corner. Got along the board, Duquette up top, shooting off the pad. Butler diving down as he didn't know where that puck had gone. Up the wall, held just inside the zone. Back of the circle, Duquette looking. Woodward clipped the skate. Up the wall, waiting. O'Reilly has it stripped aside from behind. Right up top off the pads. Now cutting the other way. Here comes Holleran over center. Back into the offensive zone down the left wing circle with a stick down on the ice. Puck going to be kicked up. As Brad Perry grabs his stick in defensive ice. Lombard is now another stick going to be lost. This one, Tommy Billows, is Norfolk going to come in onside. Back of the circle and a save right on the crest. So a save right on the North Shore crest. With 18:43 to go, with Keegan McLaughlin has looked sharp here so far tonight. Face-off going to come to his left as it's Matt Girton to take it for Norfolk. Against the lights of Patrick Martin, shoves it behind him. Danny Shea trying to feed up to his top line of forwards. Pinned in front of the Norfolk bench is North Shore, despite being short benched. At least their top group of forwards is here tonight. This Nighthawks team is relying on that top line to really produce here so far this season. Far side along the wall. This Nighthawks team, 71 goals scored, which is the tie for second highest in the league on Pittsburgh's 85. They're tied with the Sioux Nordiques, who also have a game tonight. As later on in the broadcast, we'll touch on the other games here in the APHL tonight. Up the wall beyond center. Of course, we don't have the out-of-town scoreboard with the live scoring, but can give you the matchups to keep an eye out for to see who did what tonight. Is Grinnell cutting in, back to the left circle, poked off to the boards. Up as it's just barely held in. Out to center, Billow over the line, into the zone. McGovern receives, fired as he threw it just barely over the top. Just by a couple of inches, trying to go bar down. On through as Billow was reaching back with a one-hander. Steered up ahead as Danny Shea picks up. Clinks a leg. Perry settles down as it's kicked away by Butler. Into the corner on the doorstep, slid back. Far side. Again looking, waiting. Picked by Shea as he just missed left post side. Into the corner goes Lapierre. Thrust up to Shea. They go hand over hand. Turned off the skates of Fitz all the way back out over the red line. Chasing. Little dive play by McGovern, who lays his body on the line each and every time he's on the ice. Perry, and that's what you love to see from your captain. Shows he's versatile, can play 200 feet, and McGovern's certainly that kind of player for these Norfolk Mallards. It's center Roberge. And cut over the line as it poked away. Albert Smith stayed just in front of the Mallard bench. Shea gets his skate on his putt, 16:34 to go. Comes back down in behind the line as Duquette picked it up, forced it around. Lombard feeds it up. Now Roberge going to dump it down low. Chase down in the corner, Kevin Messam, far side. Gavin Ells tossed ahead. Smith now maneuvers on in behind the goal line, is up through the air. This one will take a bounce. A little hit into the glass. Shane Banks going to pick up some speed. Rolls up through neutral, going to cross center. Looking over to Justin Arnold. Is right to the corner, off the side of the net. It's all the way back out through neutral ice as the net has come off on McLaughlin. who fixes it behind him, so play keeps going. Left side is Norfolk trying to stretch it up. Baines cuts over the red line at center. Back into the zone through the hash marks on the far side. Whistled it wide as it comes out to Elves. Just inside the zone. Dumps it down low. Kind of worked the wraparound lane and there was nothing there. Smith able to pick up with that helmet strap flying around as it always comes loose, it seems like. Worked right up Lombard. Angled off the top side of the half wall. O'Reilly to the middle. Turns on his heels. Weaving, sprays up a bit of ice as he'll come over center. Back into the zone in the high slot. Winding through it off a body. Surging with speed. Here comes Halloran up the far side wall. Waiting, shooting. Tipped off the glove. In the corner, first man to it is Halloran. 14:55 to go. Messam tossed right up top. Curtin, second chance look. And they freeze up the play with 14:49 to go. As the Mallards will keep this puck in offensive ground. Face off, right side of McLaughlin here in the offensive zone for the Mallards. It's Gergen taking the draw against the captain. As Lombard wears that C on his blue top. The middle, Lombard got a stick on this one. Comes out through the ice. Is in the corner, Morris. Drop feed back, Lombard. Picked off in the slot area. Spun off the wall. Trip up play in the corner. It looks like we're getting a penalty call coming up with 14:33 to go. Nice to see this Norfolk power play for the first time. It's Jared Morris off into the box for 2 minutes. Cross shed play along the boards in the far side corner, and so the Mallards going to be rewarded with a 5-on-4. Mallards with one power play conversion in their last home game against Boston way back on February the 4th. 4-2 loss that night. Draw to the left of the goaltenders. The Mallards going to win the face-off back. David Pila drifts, forced to the wall. McGovern. Pila up top, shooting off the pads. Trickles off up along the half wall. One backhand overhand. Coming up, Billow. Thrust to the far side. Is Shane Bates. They go to Pila. And 32 to go. Pila back down low, skipping around. Behind the net again off the leg. Brad Perry back there playing some close-knit D. Gets out to center, tipping up through the air. Shane Bates didn't know where it was as Norfolk trying to work somebody into that slot area. North Shore's really jamming it up with three abreast as they can't get the tip-in play to go. Up the wall, dumped out of the zone as the Nighthawks go back and play chase. Wheats spinning around, trying to run some clock time down as he dodged both checks they were trying to lay. Right over center. The Mallards in 3-on-3, all clean. Billow in the far side corner, 45 to go, and the cross-checking call to Jared Morris. Back of the circle, thrown on goal, got blocked. They're right out the other way. On the line, Billow, side to side with McGovern, threw it over the top. Goes up the wall, Halloran, knifed in low. Gent fits to the far side, McGovern able to hold it in. 18 left to go on the Mallard power play. Off the pads yet again it goes. The wall is deking around with Fitz, held inside the zone. Has this one. McGovern up top, cutting around, waiting, throws it wide. And North Shore going to come right back the other way. In all alone, one-on-one, and Butler with a huge save. Could be save of the game right there, denying Seamus Lombard. Norfolk with a chance of their own. Here they come 3-on-2. Kearney on the far side, fed over on the backhand, off the pad, going to be covered up. And McLaughlin comes up with a big one of his own. 12:15 to go, and the Mallards have knocked on the door a couple of times trying to tie this game up. Just can't get anything past Keegan McLaughlin right now. Gotta wonder what the goalie matchup might look like tomorrow, playing the second half of a back-to-back. They have started Peachalt in a handful of their games already, so might split the weekend. But if McLaughlin continues to play like this, don't know how you can justify not going back to him again tomorrow. In the high slot, cutting over Holleran. Hand over hand, out, fired off the pads. Picked up in the corner, Holleran yet again. Right on over, Messam as it got blocked on the way by. Pitch right on up on the doorstep. And going to be covered yet again as McLaughlin knocked it and then covers to keep this still a one-goal game. Allen is just going to slow things down on the offensive side of the thing. Sometimes working a bit too speedy and getting shots on net before McLaughlin can really even see the play through. And I don't mean it in that respect, but more to the fact that they don't have that screen in front of the net, so he knows where the shots are coming from. So set screens, some pick and roll plays from the outside to the front, and no, this isn't basketball, but the same type of logic applies. Try to drive to the bucket in basketball, try to drive to the goal here. She's got a lot more moving pieces to work with, and Norfolk not taking advantage of those right now. Is this one tipped right off the back, and it finds its way in. Shane Bates will get his first goal as a Norfolk Mallard. As it's tied up 2-2 here with 11:43 to go in the second. Face-off will come back to center ice. The Mallards have been knocking on the door, and we're just talking about the great goalie play of Keegan McLaughlin. But now our game is tied up 2 apiece as the Mallards control this next face-off. Messam along the boards. Tied up as Roberts going to get on a side. McGovern over the center ice line. Back into the zone beyond the left wing circle with 11:28 to go. Tosses it down low. Jack Fitz, first one to it, now gives it away. Kicked up off his skate. Perry going to come on in. Ken comes off the wall into the corner. So Burge to the far side. The Piers standing. Is this one knocked out? Comes back to the near side corner. Kevin Messam stretched down the ice. Billow going to come in. He's got space through the circle. Shot tipping up and going to get covered. Is Billow given time and speed, and he'll turn on the Jets. Cut down that far side wall, but a cover-up play. 10:57 left, and we stay tied at 2-2. Shane Bates and Brian McGovern on the board for Norfolk. Lombard and Gurnau on the other side for North Shore. East off right side of the goal. Again, Norfolk took game 1 of the season series 6-4. This Mallards team, when they score 6 goals, 3-0 on the season. Out inside the zone, tipping up. Deflection play, Brian Austin. He goes down, didn't draw the penalty he wanted. Side to side is with the full cage on. In here comes Morris. The far side wall. Garrett Quillen side to side. As the Mallards able to pick right back up. Josh Hogue turning behind him, now going to get back to the front as it's over the top. The cage yet again. Takes a few odd skips. Jack Holleran trying to stay with this puck as they call offside with 10:13 to go. So the face-off going to be back down in neutral ice on this North Shore half of the ice. The left of the Mallards bench quickly fork it off the boards. That was Hayden Kearney. Behind the net, jammed down around with 10:05 to go. Off the wall. And now again out to center. Wells going to be taken down as Kearney stays on his feet. Hand over hand, stretched up. Kearney trying to come in. Only has one defender in his way through the circle off the shoulder pad. Trying to swat it down, but careful not to get the high stick call. The circle touch up play to the front, and it's just barely wide. Norfolk with plenty of good looks, but now one coming the other way. They're now off the pad. Second chance look, and again going to miss. Two straight opportunities, and he can't get either to go. It's all the way down to the far side. Pila the first one to it. And 77, speedy player on the ice here for Norfolk. You see on your YouTube screen. 2-2 game with more than half of this one now gone. Is Brian Austin going to feed it ahead? These two teams playing again tomorrow. If you're local and you can make the trip, come out and join us. 7 p.m. start here at Zapostas Arena. Admission only $10 to see some great semi-pro hockey action. Woodward just inside the blue line, snapped off the Mallard crest. Woodward trying to receive yet again, rolls up the boards, kicked off the pass. North Shore celebrated like they had scored, but the putt far from the goal line as that got out of play with 8:48 remaining. So we'll keep it in the offensive zone here for the North Shore Nighthawks. As the Mallards continuing to run a dominance here in the second period, as the second period has certainly been their period, as they've scored the second frame in 3 straight games. Off the boards behind the net, rolls up top side of the half wall. McGovern hand over hand, gonna bring it on forward, right through the legs of Jack Fitz in behind with 8:35 to go. Far side corner is Billow, left out to his defense. Off the man again, trying to cut in. Stolen aside from Mallards as here comes North Shore. Back into the zone. Lombard going to stay with it. The backhander. Left side wrapped right back around. In the circle, throwing it wide was Lombard. Up the wall, 8:07 to go. Pumped down to the corner behind the cage. Setting up Brendan O'Reilly. Trying to put on a clinic here for these Nighthawks. Up the middle, picked by McGovern as he got a stick on it. Chasing it down goes Billow as he'll roll in behind the net. Left all the way around is Danny Shea getting to this one. Kicking aside, L is going to force it forward. To the circle, again, kicked aside. McLaughlin loves using that left side big pad. It's quite a bit bigger pad, something that you usually see at this level. McGovern able to jam it through. Not going to be a goal. They'd stopped the play just a split second too soon. McGovern was looking for a second of the game there, but we'll stay tied at 2 apiece. Face-off coming left side of McLaughlin. Matt Girton against Ryan Roberge. Girton out to the point. Quick one going to get blocked. Carries it stripped aside. Now standing and waiting as this one forced off the boards. Picked in the corner by Shea as he goes hand over hand. Back to this near side. Fed all the way down as this one got tipped, so no icing going to come. Looking is Butler. It's hand over hand. Low angle side of the circle. And we get another whistle with 7:08 left. Parker Butler fits in that net behind him as it looked like it popped a little loose. They're getting a penalty on the Nighthawks in the process. It's Kevin LaPierre heading to the box on the far side. 2 minutes for the interference call. 7:08 left. And the Mallards back to the power play. Going to try to cash in for the first time on their second opportunity. John Fitz going to win it right to the board. So a 5-on-4 here for these next 2 minutes, unless, of course, they score first. Drifting just inside the zone. Pila fed it up. McGovern back to Pila. Toss to his right beyond the circle. Pila again top of the key. Left in the circle. McGovern right up the middle, and it's tossed past the left side post. The wall. Pila is standing at the top of the zone. With a circle right on goal. Going to come up over the top. Again, little jam shot play in the corner. McGovern rolling around. Fed up just inside the blue line through the circle. McGovern right to the far side. Up past the net it goes. Again to the corner with 1:20 to go. David Pila turning it up along the wall. Pump to the corner by McGovern. Left side of the goal. Now drifting over. Right up top. Cutting back goes Shane Bates. Fed up the middle and past the post it goes. Tapped all the way around. This one back and neutralized as the Mallards hit the reset button with under a minute to go on their man advantage. Standing at center, spooned off the wall. The middle, Billow got a piece, leaving the Chargers in 3-on-2 with the Mallards. Back of the circle, not enough room to move for Shane Bates. Quick big dump the other way. Is Butler gonna watch? Lombard. And shovel it on around. Couple of sticks come into the pile. It's loose through the circle. The guys in white quickly going to surge in yet again 3-on-2. Back to the circle, centered up. Kearney on goal, and he's got it. The Mallards going to get a power play goal to take this lead back. It's 3-2. After the Mallards jumped ahead 1-0, North Shore scored 2 straight, and since then the Mallards have scored 2 straight of their own. As Hayden Kearney, his 5th goal of the season, gives the Mallards back their lead 3-2. Norfolk trying to make some changes right before we get this face-off. You got to hope they can keep this momentum alive heading into the second intermission. Third period will be a telling one. The tensions stay pretty light like they have been, or if things start to get a little elevated, knowing this is the second straight game against each other, and you got a third tomorrow, and then a fourth to close out your season series next Saturday. As the officials looking and waiting. The puck will be dropped right on down. And tonight is the official halfway point. I was talking about approaching the halfway point of the season, but is the halfway point for Norfolk. Game number 10 tonight. Is this one picked in the corner? Now left back on the backhand, Lombard. Steered away from Ellis. And a high slot over the net. Bates working the corner boards. Gave it away. Over the center line, O'Reilly, back to the left wing circle, in, tosses it past the post. Again, picked up the middle, as this one will go. Albert Smith on the far side over center. Dodges a check, and going to stay on his feet. Right back to the middle, 4:45 to go. The stick of Morgan, able to stay with it. Beyond the circle, over the net as it was whistling up. Kick down, hand over hand, Justin Arnold. Out to the center line off the boards. Kicked right down ahead. Smith off to his right. Bates sending forward with 4:23 to go. Is North Shore pulling up behind their own goal. Stretched up as this one will put the stick. Dropped right on down. Back of the circle, little spinorama play. Was trying to come to the front with it. Morris in the corner. Back off to this near side. Bringing it on ahead over the red line, chasing it down. It's bashed up and settled by Girton. In the high slot, whiffed on the look. Also off to the circle, now up the middle. Settled on down by Alves. Wrap Girton was going to the far corner, so is Holleran. Holleran led up, staying on his feet. Is Adam Tomey. Stretch passes, that one got tipped at center. They say icing. So the Mallards going to keep it in the offensive zone with 3:32 to go. It's like the face-off going to come to the left of McLaughlin. 3-2 lead here for Norfolk. It's the last 2 goals. Come courtesy of Shane Bates and Hayden Kearney. With his 5th goal of the season as he continues to creep up in the points column after a bit of a slow start to the year. Game 10 of the season tonight, 3-4, 1-1 start for the Mallards here in their inaugural season. Is Tomey going to get back up? Chase down in the corner. Kevin Messum's got it. Wrapped around to the boards on the near side. Off a defender and able to stand tall is Mount Girton. The officials going to halt the play as we get yet another penalty coming on the Mallards. Norfolk's bench a little frustrated here with 3:04 to go. You certainly don't want to give this Nighthawks team any leverage or leeway here late in the period. Call it tripping on Girton. So the Nighthawks going to go to work with this 5-on-4. Face-off will come to the right of Butler. So it'll be O'Reilly against Albert Smith. Smith laying down, about covered puck up with his body. Circle, steered away yet again by Butler. Parker Butler has been sharp here tonight and comes up with another glove save. There's already 13 seconds gone on the kill. Albert Smith going to once again see Lombard. Changing things up on the face-off, never a bad idea. It was right up the middle, couldn't get that one through. Smith on the far side, out to the blue line. Left on back. Hand over hand, forced forward. Past Arnold it went. Dropped on down. Back in a high slot beyond the circle. Lombard's got this one. Bush fed off the glass down low with 1:23 now to go. To the far side is that yet again. Flips a stick side to side. Lombard goes to Duquette up top. Duquette runs this power play pretty well for North Shore. Tries to keep it very disciplined, try to execute on all cylinders, work the boards, work the passing plays. Snapper comes off the pads. Steered around high. Cleared down out of the zone with under 2 to go. Here's McLaughlin going to set it up. 50 seconds left on this Mallard kill. It's 2-minute tripping call to Matt Girton, who sits in the box on the far side of the rink. Off the pads, again picked up, and again tipped aside. 2 straight for Butler right there on that sequence, with now 1:38 to go. Loose in the circle, drifting on off, thrown to the front. Knocked around up the boards. Right through the slot area, going to come up the wall. 22 seconds now to go here on the Mallard kill. Up the middle through the circles. North Shore trying to cash in on this power play. Tie this thing up yet again. Shooting, and he's got it. Centering feed to Gabe Duquette with 11 seconds to go on a power play. We're tied at 3. This Nighthawks team has started 2 for 3 on a power play in this game. They already had one from Lombard. And now they get one from Gabe Duquette. Face off at center as the Mallards going to get the win. That was Fitz. With the blue line, able to stand tall as Pyla. Now he'll turn and weave back on his heels. Chased it down in the corner. Jack Fitz in the circle, gets rocked down. Forced forward, McGovern on in. To the zone he comes, through the circle. Missed the net on the right side. It looked like he didn't even truly get a shot off, just kind of kicked past the post. Into the corner, McGovern, tied up high. 45 now to go. Is Norfolk working the wall, McGovern. Left side, looking and waiting. Up they had Fitz. He's not going to hold on to this one. McGovern behind the goal line. Stays on his feet. Centers a pass, and it swung past the net. Out of the zone it comes. It's Fitz back playing chase on it. Stretches it off to his left as McGovern. Going to feed it over. Fitz hand over hand. Brian Austin off to his left. He gets kicked up. Tommy Billow with time winding down back of the circle. Steered away. 5 seconds to go. One last shot here if they hurry. Pile up, but the clock time going to wind down, and we are going to head to intermission here in Randolph, tied at 3-3. Pair of goals in that second period is the first one, coming courtesy of Shane Bates, 11:43, before Kearney scores on the power play at 5:27. Game tying goal for North Shore comes courtesy of Danes Duquette with 1:15 to go in period number 2. And we are going to head to the second intermission, all tied up at 3, here from Randolph. Final period of the night here from Zapasis Arena in Randolph, Massachusetts. North Shore and Norfolk tied up at 3-3 after 40 minutes of play. Again, my name's Colby Smith here with you for this final period of play. The Mallards going to skate right to left across your YouTube screen, and the North Shore Nighthawks going to go from left to right. Mallards taking the lead twice in this game, 1-0 and 3-2, and both times the North Shore Nighthawks have stormed back to tie it up and even had a lead of their own when it was 2-1. These Mallards got to stay gritty, got to stay hungry here in this third period. As Lombard going to come to center, taking this face off against Shane Bates as here we go. Lombard wins it back. Third period is now underway here in Norfolk County. Bates off the boards, going to send in on the backhand behind the goal line. Woodward's got it in the corner as it's fed cross ice. Little drop pass on back. O'Reilly struts up the far side. Kearney picks it off, dumped it off the glass. Sent towards the front is Butler going to steer it aside. In the corner, Brian Austin trying to feed it out. Kearney trying to dodge a check. Forced it through his legs. Out through neutral ice it comes. It's drubbed up Bates to himself in the circle, and he was looking for Morgan on this near side, and the pass connection just wasn't there. Up along the wall, Lombard going to strut over center yet again down the far wing side, off the boards, drop feed back Lombard, cutting to the middle, and it's poked aside. The top side of the half wall down to the corner. Mallards the other way. Bates going to weave up through the middle as a change being made. Morgan on goal and a save made by McLaughlin. His first save of this third period is the Mallards. You knew they were going to come out aggressive here right from the jump. Off the boards, fed to the far side by Tyler Harrington, who we haven't seen too much of in this game tonight. McGovern wrapped around. Harrington inside the zone, couldn't settle the puck down. Chip D to D. Now raced up. McGovern has time and space down the right wing side. Threw on goal, and he chinked the post with it. Big whistle and shot as McGovern seems to have a lot of those. North Shore trying to catch him in transition the other way, 3-on-2. Into the zone, drop pass back. Beyond the circle, force fed to the front, and it rolled through the slot. Into the corner, looking up the wall. McGovern can't settle down. Pulling up, Cordillo to the far side. Steer to the front, and they got it. When you go to the net, good things happen. The Nighthawks once again have the lead. It's 4-3. Cornell has now scored twice as he got the goal that gave the Nighthawks a 2-1 lead, and now has the goal that gives them the 4-3 lead. Face off back to center, and it's one back Gertman. As D to D, as it was Tomey, now steers it up. Out of the zone, Hogue gonna race in on sides, back of the circle, comes free to the corner boards, Halloran. Down after the big check. Both players finally going to get back to their feet as it was Hogue and Patrick Martin. Is Butler going to come out of his net and play? Swats it off to his left. Up the boards, dumped out of the zone. In neutral ice, off the glass, up the middle, Grinnell on the back hit. Chasing Messam in the corner. Up the boards on the near side. Is Girton soaring into the zone. The middle, poked aside. Gotta spread those wings and fly. Is Grinnell gonna come on in? And Butler again knocking it away. Up the wall, Martin gonna grab this puck. Swerves around, weaving as it gets a skate. Right back on over. Now it's Brad Perry forced on goal. Butler gonna knock it aside. Into the corner, Girton forced all the way down the other side. Halloran gonna come in over the red line. Back in offensive ground, winding, and he missed wide. Up the board, standing. It's Adam Tomey. Going to dump it cross ice. Back through the circle, it goes to Woodward behind the goal. It's Norfolk in the midst of the change with 16:35 to go. Tossed up the wall, and now just past the blue line. All the way down along the wall. Shane Bates going to stand tall as that gets out of play. So we'll keep it down in the offensive zone. As we once again want to remind you, 7 o'clock tomorrow, back here at home, North Shore and Norfolk, wrapping up the weekend back-to-back. The 7 o'clock puck drop here at the Boston Arena. Get here early, get in the doors, watch warm-ups, and just enjoy the night with us. Nothing better to do on a Sunday than come watch some semi-pro hockey here in Norfolk County. The wall in the corner, Garrett Quillen, bash around play, picked up by Jared Morris. Stretched up. Rolling back in his own Lombard. Works the wall as Woodward swerves in behind his own goal line, feeds O'Reilly. Dumped over, and now Woodward. Lombard threw it on goal, and there was nobody up front. A lot of the times the Nighthawks run these plays from the sideboards, hoping that somebody's going to be there. Yeah, tension brewing. We said it could happen. O'Reilly and Albert Smith, they're still jabbering at each other, skating off. Got matching minors. And a scoreboard for both of them. Albert Smith's 2 up on the board. Everybody waiting, trying to see what the play is going to be. Norfolk down by 1 here early on in this third period. You knew the Nighthawks would come out aggressive. So yes, indeed, the extra minor going to be added to Brendan O'Reilly. So there'll be 2 minutes on each side of the scoreboard, and we're going to play some 4-on-4 hockey first time tonight. Face-off will be in the offensive zone here for the Mallards. As it'll be to the right of McLaughlin. Shane Bates going to direct traffic behind him. He'll come and take this face-off on the power play. Spot that he's still new to here on this Norfolk squad. It's dropped on down. Bates going to feed it behind him. Side to side beyond the circle. Off the pads. And Bates was looking for the rebound and couldn't get to it. Pumped around. Bates looking, shooting off the pads. Kicking around. McGovern's right there. And somehow he can't jam a look on net. Already 15 seconds killed by McGovern. Sliding to the front. Puck going to be poked loose. Through the circle. Back to the near boards yet again. Brendan O'Reilly to the middle. McGovern can't hold on. Swerving Pila, tosses it off. The boards hollering in the corner. Out up top, yet again diving and getting back to his feet is going to be Brian Austin. Another player we haven't seen too much of, but making his home debut here for Norfolk. It's center Morris. The swerve on in, leaves it back behind him. Up to the front, Morris was cutting in, couldn't get the puck though. Up the wall, hand over hand, Woodward off the glass. Pumped all the way in behind the net. Chasing Brian Austin in the corner. Going to come up through the circle. In the offensive ground, hollering back of the circle. The wall drops it off. McGovern behind the net. Shoved up beyond the circle. All the way down low. Gage Duquette's got this one. To the left of his goaltender, south of the goal line. On over to Danny Shea, works it up ahead, crosses the blue line over center through the circle, off a skate as it looked like it clipped Harrington's. Into the zone, little maneuver play, steered away by Butler. Comes free to the far side boards. Hand over hand, looking for some room to move. Gabe Duquette, already a goal and an assist here tonight. Norfolk going to get a good break the other way here in this 4-on-4 action. 15 seconds left, his hand over hand through the middle. We'll get a penalty on this near side wall. It's a cross-check call going to come on the likes of Hayden Kearney. And so now the Norfolk Mallards going to be shorthanded for 2 minutes. Face-off will come into the offensive zone for the Nighthawks. It'll be a 4-on-3. For 11 seconds, and then it'll turn into a 5-on-4. Lombard going to take this draw against Halloran. This isn't a sequence you practice often, as it doesn't happen much. Duquette going to turn on back. This should run most of that time, if not all down. Duquette, 3 seconds now to go. And yes, indeed, 4-on-3 is going to be over. We're at 5-on-4 hockey. It's the initial men free. Along the far side wall, 13:45 to go in regulation. 4-3 score in favor of North Shore. Woodward, as Norfolk trying to mount a comeback. They want to get their first win ever that's completed start to finish here on home ice. In the corner, up through the air, takes a few odd skips. And then O'Reilly to the right of his 10D, going to swerve on up through the circle, feeds it across. Receives in stride, over center, back into the zone, forced around the goal with 1:12 left. Woodward at the blue line, chipped up. Into the corner, O'Reilly. Again looking as it's kicked. Norfolk in front of the blue line, getting kicked away there by Butler. Behind the net with under a minute to go on the North Shore power play. Behind the net, they have 2 cash-ins tonight. They're 2 for 3 to this point. Woodward drifting, thrust to the far side, comes around right to the front, and Butler was able to keep it out of that dirty area in front. The wall, and fed right on over. Gage Duquette working the boards. Shinked out of the zone. Woodward out at center. Norfolk trying to change things up. 30 to go. Woodward picks the puck right back up after almost losing. Kicked off is Parker Butler diving over to that left post, keeping it out. Stretch pass up, going to be picked in transition. Gage Duquette going to dump it right on in. North Shore not moving around too much on this power play. A lot of stationary stuff going on in the offensive zone. Tidal on the far wall. Then Harrington. It's worked around behind the goal. Up Duquette, just inside the zone. 12 now to go. As Kearney gets free, we're back to 5-on-5 hockey on a backhand off the shoulder pad. Sliding over to that right post. Stays out of the net. This near side corner with 11:50 to go. Here comes Norfolk right back the other way. Shane Bates into the zone. It's Duquette off the top side of the half wall. Back on in beyond the right wing circle. Forced off the boards. It's Gage Duquette hitting the reset button. Giving the Hawks yet another chance to change. North Shore trying to keep these shifts short with the short bench here tonight. As over center this one goes. And maybe they'll get a few more of their guys here for tomorrow's game. 7 o'clock start here at Tebastos Arena in Randolph. Come join us. McGovern in down low. Weaving around in the corner. Obviously, a bit of a drive. They're making 2 days in a row, but you get the season series banged out of the way in one weekend. Shea tossed it up. Comes Kyle Weitz, and it's 2-on-1. Fed right up the middle, backhand. Butler knocks it away. He denies Patrick Martin. He's a little bit slow to get down the ice and get involved on that one. Maybe he had read it a split second better, things would have turned out differently. Martin on the backhand, fed in front. Norfolk right back the other way. It's Billow back to the right wing circle, snapped it past the post. Rolls up the boards, out to center. Waiting, Billow can't get to this one. Martin over center. Come to the front once again. Big snapper and a glove save by Parker Butler. With 10:22 to go here in this third period. Keep that foot on the gas and don't let up. His face off. Gonna be Ryan Roberge. Loses it to Matt Gergen. Tossed around the wall all the way out to center. Drifting on back goes Garrett Quillett. Goes hand over hand with this one. Stick around play. Adam Tomey going to stay on his feet. They call offside here on Norfolk. So we'll come back out to the neutral zone on the North Shore half of the ice. It'll be Matt Gerton to once again take the face off. As the Mallards trying to contest that. Going to ask what they can do differently as well next time. So it looked like a pretty clear zone entry to me. But inside the zone, and shot right on it. Chased down in the far side corner with under 10 minutes now to go here in regulation. So the Mallards down by 1, looking to try to score here within these next sub-10. Going towards the goal is Mesa missed. Out up the wall. Halloran down both knees. With a circle wrapped on around. Not down. Gonna get away from Adam Tomey. Right, Will Burge. Can't settle down on his twig. Into the zone. Swerving back goes Girton. Cleared up off the boards. His Hode chases it down. The team's again going to make some changes. 9:17 to go. 4-3 lead for the North Shore Nighthawks. The difference maker goal scored by Brandon Grinnell to this point came just 1:55 into this third period. Right back the other way with speed comes Shane Bates. Into the zone, back of the left wing circle. Looking to come to the front. Couldn't jam it through. Up in the air as it takes a few bounces. Hove dumped out of the zone the other way. With 8:50 now to go, no icing call going to come. Wrapping around in the corner, looking up top yet again, forced down behind on the backhander. And O'Reilly to the front, Butler kicks it out of there. Tossed in the circle, right to the front, Butler laying down. And you can see the poise that Butler has in these big situations. Down by 1 here in the third period, it's finally the play going to get halted. There's a couple of pro games to his credit. He's caught on at the end of the year last year with the Danbury Hat Tricks in the Federal Prospect Hockey League. Now up here in Norfolk County this season playing for the Mallards. It's a face-off in the offensive zone here for the Nighthawks. Butler 2-1 in his 3 games played where he had decisions for Danbury last year. Lombard takes this face off, quickly throws it wide. Up the far board, Shea trying to keep it in. McGovern on the backhand, gave it away and neutralized. Shea feeds it behind him. Kyra Wheats dumped up the middle. McGovern, back D to D, 8:10 to go. Cross ice. Now looking up. Past the outstretched stick of Fitz. Shea dashed off to his left. Whipped around. He's in the corner. Morgan going to stand tall. Takes a big hit from the likes of Tommy Billow. It will stay with the play with 7:48 to go. McGovern through the circle. Going to turn something around right to the front of the goal. Gets tripped up from behind. No penalty call going to come. Up Pylov trying to play to the front. North Shore. As here comes Shea. Back over center. Lombard and Shea into the zone. Nice clean clear entry. Up off the wall, McGovern going to drop it on back behind, inside to side. In Billow, toss to the middle, backhander, McGovern, and he's got it. McGovern goes to the goal, pushes it through, and we are now tied at 4 apiece. Brad McGovern with a pair of goals now in this game, up to 8 on the season. And he himself now has a 3-point night as well. Brad McGovern, 2 goals and an assist here for the Mallards. There's Martin going to go against the likes of Patrick Martin. Circle, Girton was trying to cut ahead with the puck. So 4-4 a game, that's exactly what you needed if you're the Mallards. Trying to secure this win tonight, caught off the state. Definitely don't want to lose in regulation with some mid-points on the line. Looks like we'll once again get a penalty in the corner. As Rick LeBlanc seems confused over on the Mallards bench. They'll move this one back out to neutralize. It looks like we'll stay 5-on-5. I myself thought that we might be getting an interference penalty call coming up, but no avail. 5-on-5 is Martin with the red shorts. Going to come up to the circle. Backer in, tossed off the glass. Rolling behind Tyler Hastings, played off the twine. In the circle, going to swerve on up Girton. Tripped up at center. Comes all the way in for the icing with 6:48 to go. So an offensive zone face-off here for the North Shore Nighthawks. It'll be to the left. Parker Butler. Just quickly dropped on down. Martin can't hang with it. Some of the boards. Josh Hogue off to his right. Chasing goes Owls. Owls a bit shorter than most of the forwards on opposing teams, but certainly a lot of heart and grit back on the blue line for the Norfolk Mallards. On the corner, Butler tipped that one away. Hit late on the far side. Holler in, involved in the play still. Low side in the near corner. Up the middle. Again, swerving bad, taking plenty of time. Behind the net, Hollerin picks up some speed. One-hand play up the middle. Pitch right off. Martin going to cut on through. Little drop pass back from Grinnell. Big wind and another glove save. So 2 to go. So keep those shots coming. On the Norfolk end of the ice. Parker Butler looking sharp here in this third period. Gotta get this one out of your zone. Continue to get shots in the offensive zone like Norfolk's done really well here in this third period when they've been able to get inside. There's Lombard. Able to win that face-off. Duquette punched up. 5:55 to go in regulation. 4 all game here between these two sides. Could be the start of a brewing rivalry here this season between these two. High hit going to be laid up on the back end. Morgan takes a few bounces. Danny Shea will send it ahead, side to side. Defensive ice here, the Mallards. Brought up Bates over the line at center, weaving up through the middle in the high slot, winding off the pad, tipped up through the air. They say it got played with a high stick. And now that Norfolk's touched, getting whistled dead. Up to the front, they got it. Backdoor pass to the front, Jake Morgan. Gonna jam it through to make it 5-4. Jake Morgan set up perfect place, perfect time as he cuts into the low slot, puts that one by. It's at 5-4 here with 5:21 to go. Morgan making his presence felt in a big way to the Norfolk County faithful. Is on the doorstep, they got another pass through the circle. Beauty of an assist for Tommy Bello. And now it's 6-4. Another guy introducing himself to the home crowd. Welcome in, Jack Fitz. It's 7. A 7-4 game here now with 5:15 to go here in period number 3. It's Norfolk waiting here. So it looks like there's a little bit of an issue with the ice on the blue line in the defensive zone. But a 6-4 game, as McGovern, 2 goals in this game. As the officials over talking in the corner, Cody Woodward, first man in there. Everybody piled up as the Mallards have 3 guys. North Shore in with a couple as well, as we'll step aside for a quick break. Well, we'll finally get back to it. 5:15 to go and a 6-4 score here in favor of the Norfolk Mallards as they win the face-off back. Had a little bit of an ice issue on the blue line in the North Shore end. Same spot where we had an issue last month in that suspended game. Talked about a little bit way back in period number 1 that Norfolk would have their first win here on home ice, but had to play the last 10 minutes down at Hudson Valley. So a suspended split game, if you will, between here and Hudson Valley. Is this one out through the middle? Tossed off Grinnell. They call offside here on this end. 4:46 to go. So a neutral zone face-off going to be coming up. It'll be Patrick Martin to go against Albert Smith. Second line for the Mallards. You've seen a lot of time here in this third period as you're trying to match up best skill set against best skill set. And this North Shore team certainly has a lot of speed on this top group, a lot of agility to get up and down the ice. So you match up your line that can do just that against you. Lead on the near board, Billow, stretch to the middle. Trying to settle down along the wall, out over center, into the zone, back to the right wing circle. Thrown on goal off the glove, laying out on top of it was McLaughlin. So with 4:18 to go, keep an eye on that spot on the blue line on the North Shore end. And we also want to remind you yet again, 7 p.m. tomorrow, right back here at Deposits Arena to wrap out this home weekend back-to-back. The Game 3 of the season series tomorrow. Tonight, Game 2 in Norfolk. Running away with this one here late in the third period, but don't count North Shore out just yet. At a stretch in that first period where they ripped off 2 in 1 minute and 4. Is off to the last. This one going to be baked up. Takes a few skips. Is racing for this one. Hits the pads. A little jam shot play for Danny Shea. Gets out of the zone. Across to Gage Duquette. Over the red line. Cleared in past the left side post. Worked up the wall. A little hit-a-rama play to the boards. Head on over. Comes Jack Holleran. As Girton off to his right, Holleran in the circle, cutting on in on the backhand jam pass to that far side. And past the post and all the way into the far side. Corners up the middle, North Shore, going to roll it out to the blue line. Thrown on goal and a glove save made with 3:32 to go. So Norfolk continuing to be the aggressors here late in this third period, peppering everything in McLaughlin that they can muster. Face-off going to be to McLaughlin's left. It's going to be Shane Bates to take the draw. We'll go against Patrick Martin. Is Bates able to win it back? Top of the circle, tipping it around in front, comes free in the corner. Bates forced right back up top. Arnold watching. Drifting in. Harrington forced off the bat. Rebound. Couldn't get a look off. Going to come all the way to the far side corner with now 3:15 left. And the backhand pinned to the wall. Justin Arnold up the middle. Off the boards, out of the zone. Kyle Weeks back down in high. Woodward wound off a leg. Right back the other way. Bates with time and space. Threw it up over the top of the cage. Martin stolen aside. Is this one going to come free? 2:45 to go. Near side corner for the Mallards. Working from the back out. Bates to the far side. Is Alves going to turn and fork it in? Up the middle, North Shore. Going to play the other way. Martin going to weave over center, tosses it off. Back to the near side. The Mallards force it beyond center yet again to Kett. First one to it on the far side. Off the top side of the half wall in defensive ice. Couldn't find Jack Fitz. And neutral played up. Is Alves able to stand tall? He can clink his helmet on the way. Fitch up ahead, received off the wall. Billow down the right side, fed across McGovern. Billow back, and he hit the post. He was looking for his first goal of the season. Perfect setup from the captain. And McGovern could have been selfish, taking it in for the hat trick with 2 already in this game, but not the kind of player he is. Off McGovern, going to bring it right back in, back to the right circle, waiting. It's pulled aside. Lombard in the far corner. McGovern going to knock it aside right on the doorstep backhand. Turned off the paddle. Illo to center ice for the putt. 90 seconds to go and North Shore trailing by 2. McGovern, toe drag play in a high slot right in the jersey crest. And you got to wonder what the Nighthawks will do here. Most times down by 2. Usually try to get that goaltender off, or at the very least use your timeout and talk things out. It looks like we're just going to keep right on rolling. Coach Mike O'Hearn certainly making an interesting decision here. Face off to the left of their goaltender, off the wall. Spun out of the zone, going to get to the blue line as it's set and right back in by Messam, Inside the side, going up Morris. Chasing Kevin Messam. The side through the circle into the corner, right back up top. Going to get to the boards. Behind the goal with now a minute to go. Looking right to the front. Comes loose in the circle. On the forehand. Turned the other way by Hogue for the empty net. McLaughlin got off the ice. Extra tacker is out here. And the Mallards trying to get one in there. Ice this game away. Only up by 2. In the corner, Lombard chasing it down. Butler watching as he's going to cover up in front. 34.2 to go. So got McLaughlin off the bench. A 6-on-5, and the Mallards on the cusp of getting their first 60-minute win here on home ice in team history. Albert Smith going to go against Brendan O'Reilly. The right of Parker Butler here in the offensive zone for North Shore. The last change going to be sent out for Norfolk. As the Mallards going to call for timeout. Got a little out of sync here late in this third period. So that'll give North Shore a chance to regroup. 34.2 seconds to go. 6-4 lead here for the Mallards. .2 seconds to go here in regulation. A 6-4 lead for the Norfolk Mallards here inside Zapasis Arena in Randolph, Mass. Net is empty for North Shore. Mallards are shooting for the empty goal. Going to ice this game away after calling their timeout. Albert Smith going to send it up. Has Kearney up the middle as he dived down. Nighthawks regroup. Not going to have much time though. Morris off the boards. 20 seconds now to go. Back in defensive ice. Weeds holding up along the boards. And along the wall. Now Woodward going to turn and shoot it in. 10 seconds to go. Right side of Parker Butler behind the net. Pinned up to the wall. 5 seconds to go. 2-on-2 tangle up. But still tied up. And that's going to do it. The Norfolk Mallards going to move to 500 as they take down the North Shore Nighthawks tonight 6-4. Brad McGovern with a pair of goals to lead the way, and you get scoring from all around the lineup. Is Hayden Kearney going to get one as well? And the newcomers, Morgan, Brents, and Bates, all going to chip in one apiece. And 6-4 going to be the final. Nighthawks get a pair of goals from Brandon Granat. He'll be the player to watch tomorrow. But the Nighthawks going to drop to 4-8, and the Mallards move to 4-4, 1-1, and secure their first bowl win in franchise history on home ice. Two teams are going to salute each other with a handshake line, and we'll be right back to it tomorrow. 7 p.m. start here in Zapasis Arena. The Mallards have taken the first 2 games of the season series. Once again, your final score 6-4 in favor of Norfolk. Thanks for watching. Join us again tomorrow, and enjoy your Saturday night.